Warning, despite the subject matter at the focus of these videos, my reviews are not intended for viewers under the age of 13, so if you're not of age, turn off the video now. Are they gone? Great, let's get to the intro already. Believe it or not, we've got Season 2, and it's not even Super Beast Morphers. This is the first time we've had Season 2. How will it be? Just watch these reviews and we'll see. Sorry about the musical interlude, gang, but when I saw the title of this episode, I couldn't resist. Yes, this is the first episode going into Beast Morphers' second season, but you might be wondering why I have it listed as episode 23. Well, since I didn't want the titles of these reviews to be overly long by designating season 2, I've opted to take a page out of the Ninjago playbook that I haven't opened in forever and just keep the numbering going from last year. But enough about numbers and cheesy theme songs, I am ready to dive headfirst into this episode. To repeat what I said when reviewing the finale of Season 1, I was looking forward to how this episode would handle introducing the Rangers back into the thick of things. After all, resetting the status quo hasn't been Power Rangers' strongest suit recently, but there were still enough threads dangling in the finale to keep my curiosity piqued, so let's go ahead and look at the first episode of Season 2, otherwise known as Power Rangers Beat Morphers Episode 23, Believe It or Not. The episode opens at the Riptide Gym, where Devin and Blaze are sparring with each other. It seems between episodes these two have become the best of friends, with Devin even teaching Blaze some fighting moves. As they take a break, both former Red Rangers see a news report of Mayor Daniels introducing a Morphex tower in Paris as part of a growing network that will go global. The other Rangers are also watching the broadcast, including Ravi, who's on a date with Roxy that gets interrupted by the Blue Ranger needing to go to Ranger training. Yes, it looks like Blaze and Roxy are no longer involved with Ranger duties, meaning that it's now okay for Roxy and Ravi to date again. At training, Ravi and Zoe do some target practice while Ben and Betty try out a punching bag before checking on Devin, who's speed jumping over a rope. Ben and Betty try to join the Red Ranger but end up breaking the machine, so they bolt before anyone else notices. Nate then walks in with the new Beastax Ultra Blaster that Zoe helped him develop. Ravi tests out the new blaster but quickly loses control of it, resulting in the targeting wall being destroyed. Steel then comes in with terrifying news that Evox is back, having researched every conspiracy in the book to prove his theory.
Exhibit 1. Remember that Morphex tower spill in Sector Lima 3-2? It's all cleaned up. I checked the logs. No cleanup crews were ever assigned. That's 100 tons of Morphex unaccounted for. It must have been stolen.
No. My dad said it was taken care of.
Wow, that's weird. I wonder what Evox and Mayor Daniels could possibly have in common. The other Rangers don't believe Steel's crazy theory, however, saying Silver needs proof, so Steel suggests to train in the woods the next day so he can show the team in person. After training, Devin meets up with his dad, who's back from Paris, but he doesn't get to talk with him long since the mayor has a meeting. Devin's disappointed, but says that he and his dad can hang out whenever the mayor has time. The next morning, the Rangers go for a run in the woods near the Morphex tower that leaked, and when they stop to take a break, Steel tries to convince the team that a photo of Scruzzle was taken there 2 days ago. However, Devin points out an overgrown stump that caused the blurry shape in the photo, and even when Steel thinks he's found robot footprints, they turn out to be his. Nate tells Steel that he can't go around making wild accusations without proof, forcing his brother to go off in search of some. The Rangers go after Steel, but when the trail runs cold, they follow robot footprints to a cave entrance where Scruzzle, a Robotron, and some Tronics are gathering up barrels of Morphex. Commander Shaw then calls to check on the training session, and Devin informs her what's going on. The Rangers get face to face with Scruzzle and Drilltron, but after the team morphs, Scruzzle teleports away with the Morphex. The Rangers try to fight off the Tronics and Drilltron, but this version is stronger than the last one, and the team ends up captured.
Hey, Drillhead! Activate
and here comes Steel jumping in like a badass to rescue everyone. After the Tronics are defeated, Zoe attempts to apologize to Steel, but Commander Shaw calls in to tell the Rangers that a Gigadrone is headed their way. The Rangers are quick enough not to be crushed by the thing, but the Gigadrone lands deep underground to steal the rest of the leaked Morphex that's there. However, before the Rangers can call their Zords, Drilltron reveals that he's still standing, so Steel and Zoe pair off to fight the bad bot. The remaining Rangers man their Zords, with Nate using his Wrecker Zord to lower the Robo Racer into the hole while Ravi stands guard. As he's lowered, Devon sees two Gigatronics fly out of the hole that Ravi immediately starts fighting. Devon soon makes it to the bottom, where he sees tons of Morphex and is attacked by the Gigadrone and two more Gigatronics. Since all the Rangers are separated like this, these fight scenes are intense as fuck, but soon Devon uses the Wrecker Zord hook to knock the Gigatronics back and hook the Gigadrone so Nate can reel it back to the surface. While that's going on, Zoe and Steel work together to take down Drilltron, then they call for their Zords to help Ravi in his fight against the Gigatronics. All four Gigatronics are scrapped at about the same time, and when Nate brings the Gigadrone above ground, Steel snatches it so the Wrecker Zord can finish the thing off. After the fight, Devon tells Commander Shaw that the Morphex was cleaned up. Nate says he scanned the Cyberverse for Evox, but it's deserted. Since they don't know where Evox is hiding or where the Gigadrone came from, Shaw says they need to be ready for anything, adding that she'll inform the mayor. Once the commander leaves, Steel takes time to gloat about how he was right, and saying that he just wanted to get to the truth. The Rangers apologize, and even admit they didn't want to believe Steel because it was nice not worrying about Robotrons. Steel says the Rangers can help him in his expedition to find the Loch Ness Monster, who he believes is vacationing in Coral Harbor. Ben and Betty come in, dressed in scuba gear, for the expedition, and we get a relatively weak ending joke with the two, before the episode ends with the Rangers leaving to find the Plesiozord. I mean Nessie. This episode is good, bordering on great. Part of what helps this episode succeed, where other super first episodes failed, is a simplistic story and epic execution. We don't have that Ninja Steel Dino Charge problem, where the team is disbanded and the villain is defeated, so the show must do a giant reset to keep the plot moving. Instead, the Beast Morphers Rangers still act as a security force for Grid Battle Force, but since they no longer have a big bad to fight, they need to keep training in case some other foe comes along. It also helps that the show treats it like such a big deal when Evox comes back, and we see how hard the Rangers need to fight just to foil his latest scheme. Another thing that keeps this episode from feeling like a reset is the fact that the characters are still progressing rather than going back to square one. Devon and Mayor Daniels are on good terms, even though the mayor doesn't have time for his son. Nate and Zoe aren't dating, but are still working closely with each other, and Ravi and Roxy are back to being a couple because one of them is no longer a ranger. Blaze and Roxy being taken out of the ranger program is by process of elimination the weakest part of this episode, since it feels like it's only done so that the two can be captured and brainwashed into being Evox's slaves again. However, after giving it some thought, it does make sense that Blaze and Roxy are no longer rangers. It was likely very difficult for GB to get the animal DNA necessary to begin the ranger program in the first place, and they wouldn't want to risk exposing the Rangers to another hack attack since that caused all kinds of problems last time. Hell, given the trauma that Blaze and Roxy likely suffered after being forced to see the actions of villains who looked like them in a year-long nightmare, they may have respectfully resigned from GB on their own. Still, I really wish we could have seen that scene at least. Side note, I'm happy that Blaze and Devon are best friends now, because it will finally give Blaze someone to worry about him when he goes back into a coma. Can't have another scene like in the finale where he wakes up and people barely react. Overall, this is a strong way to open season 2. Beast Morphers effectively reintroduces the threat of Evox while also keeping the characters consistent from when we last saw them. The story feels like it's adapting to the finale of season 1 rather than retconning it, and the action is just getting better and better. So, for the first time in forever, I'm going to recommend the first episode of a Power Rangers second season. I'm Nick, aka IronBet1993, and may the power protect you.